I just need it, John. Good. Good morning. This is the Board of Appeals, Town of Hempstead, October 1st, 2025, 9:30 meeting. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
Good morning. I see many familiar faces in the audience, and then I see some faces that I do not recognize. As a result of that, I will tell you, those of you who haven't been here before, how we conduct the hearings. First, we call for adjournments, and we'll get those out of the way, and then we will get into the regular calendar. The hearings themselves are conducted as follows. The applicant will present their case. If there are any objections, we give the objectants the opportunity to voice their concerns, and then we give the applicant the opportunity to sum up, at which point we will close the hearing. Once we close the hearing, we do not accept any additional evidence, but during the hearings, before they are closed, we will accept almost anything in evidence. This is not a court of law. We are not constrained by the formal rules of evidence, and we move forward. The hearings are videotaped, they're archived so that anyone who wishes to review them in the future is free to do so. We also have a court reporter. Everything is taken down for those of you who wish to avail yourselves of those things. All right? I do not believe that I missed anything else, so that we will start calling the calendar. Patrick?
Mr. Chairman, we have a few adjournments on for this morning. First, case 51925 near Island Park, Joseph Brazil. Variance height exceeds number of stories, lot area occupied to construct 3-story dwelling with balconies, outdoor spiral staircase, demolish existing building, also known as 1047 Delaware Avenue.
Is there anyone here on this case? No? We'll mark that second call. Next case.
Mr. Chairman, we have one more adjournment for this morning. Case 52025, Merrick Jane Metzelli. Variances, lot area occupied, front yard setback on Madison Street. Construct 1-story addition, attached dwelling. Remove 1-story portion of dwelling and steps, also known as 144 Stuyvesant Avenue. Mr. Chairman, I did receive a phone call and an email from the expediter for the applicant, and he is unable to make it today to ask for an adjournment, but I did speak with him, and November 19th at 11 o'clock works for him.
Okay. We'll adjourn the case to November 19th at 11 o'clock.
Okay. First, we have case 51225, Hewlett, 1150 Broadway Holdings, LLC, doing business as Extra Space Storage, renewal of grant to maintain double-face illuminated vertical monument sign, 33 square feet per face, overall size 66 square feet, setback 10 feet 10 inches from side property line and 4 feet from Broadway, also known as 1150 Broadway.
Is there anyone here on this case? Yes? Come up, sir. Morning. Nice of you to let us know you were in the audience.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Paul Bergen, 777 Lake York Road, Barrington, Illinois.
Nice of you to come.
Thank you.
The weather's better there than it is here.
It's gorgeous, exactly.
So I'm told. I
Yeah.
get my daily call from Chicago.
There you go.
My son lives there.
Nice.
Okay, so this is a renewal of a grant to maintain the double-faced illuminated vertical monument sign. The building department inspected the premises on August 13th of 2025, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by the board are being complied with. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, sir? Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Bergen, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? What time is the flight back?
4 o'clock.
Oh, okay. You'll make it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Next, we have
Next case.
51325 Point Lookout, 143 Bayside Drive Realty Corporation. Renewal of grant to use premises for private parking lot in conjunction with fishing station across the street, northeast corner of Limbrook Avenue and Bayside Drive. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please state your name and address for the record.
For the applicant, Thomas McKevitt, Son, Ward, Braff, Cascignano, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, 11553.
Ed Wenzel, 22 Hewlett Avenue in Point Lookout, 11569.
Are you with the applicant?
Yeah, he is the applicant.
Mr. McKevitt, you should add formerly known as Mr. McKevitt.
I have a lot of former titles. Can't keep a steady job.
So this is renewal of a grant to use the premises for private parking lot in conjunction with the Bowie Bar, I believe. Is that correct?
No,
Pardon?
no.
No?
That's fishing station in Point
Oh,
Lookout?
See,
I shouldn't say same.
Right next
but
door.
Yes.
Mhm.
never listen to the person on your left.
Right.
In any event, the building department inspected the property on August 4th, and they found that all conditions previously imposed by the board were being complied with. Mr. McKevitt, formerly Mr. McKevitt, would you like to add anything?
The only thing to inquire, Mr. Chairman, only because my client just asked me before we began today, this has been a renewal since the early 1960s for this portion of property. And I think the reason why the board at that time had made this renewal is that between the parking lot and the Ted's Fishing Station, actually offices and where this everything is stored, was formerly a paper street. Approximately about 8 or 9 years ago, I would suppose, we purchased that paper street from the Lido Point Lookout Fire District for a very extensive sum of money, I might add. And we're just wondering what the procedure would be to perhaps making this permanent, because again, come here every 5 years for something which has been here for 62 years, we just feel just, taking the board's time up as well. So just an indication on that I think the circumstances have changed since this was first granted 60 years ago.
Can I ask you, I'm fairly familiar with the area. I know where the Bowie Bar parking lot across now, besides the one they have. I know a little further down is your Ted Station. Is the parking lot for yours on which side of the road?
Yes.
As you pull in, it's
Pull
on the
in,
right.
in?
As you pull in, we have one property now.
You want to?
Whereas the Bowie Bar has 2 properties. They have their property and the house across the street.
Right,
So they
okay.
use for parking. You pull in, it doesn't appear, it's 3 lots, although it looks like one big lot, and it's one section of the lot is residential. Everything else is commercial.
We have the survey, Mr. Moffett. I'll show it to you. I think it would actually illustrate quite a bit what's going on here.
So wait, it's on the same side as this fishing station then? It's on the
Yes.
bay side?
Yes.
Of the street, and it's a contiguous lot. So what you're saying, that's just right outside where the portion where most of the restaurants are was business, even though residential across the street? So is this piece of property is in residential or business?
I think it's technically resident. I think it's technically zone residential, but it's been used business for the 60s.
Agree.
See, the highlighted portion is the portion we're here for today. That's where the parking for Ted's Fishing Station is. Now, immediately to the left of that was formerly the paper street, which Ted now owns. So he owns that entire parcel now. He owns it all.
I think the way that you would make it permanent is what you just did, is to make a motion that we consider making it permanent, or words to that effect. So
Okay.
we'll consider it.
Thank you.
We'll consider it,
Thank you very much.
even though you didn't make the motion.
He did.
I did. Thank you.
I thought she made the motion, but
Her motion counts more than I do.
no, it doesn't.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have another motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. McKevitt, you and your client will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second? All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good day. Patrick, we're going to recall a case.
Case 51925, near Island Park, Joseph Brazil. Variances height exceeds number of stories, lot area occupied. Construct 3-story dwelling with balconies, outdoor spiral staircase. Demolish existing dwelling, also known as 1047 Delaware Avenue.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the board. There was a problem with the notice with respect to this application, so we would respectfully request that the matter be adjourned in order that proper notice can go out.
Patrick?
Mr. Chairman, we have a December 3rd at 11 a.m. available.
December 3rd.
Is that okay, counsel?
I'm just checking to make sure. December 3rd at 11 a.m. is perfect.
Good.
Absolutely perfect. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Appreciate
Welcome.
your assistance. Thank you.
Next, we'll be calling case 51425 Belmore, Carlos Sanchez, CSB Home Improvement Incorporated, renewal of grant to park in front yard setback hot dog truck, also known as 2425 Grand Avenue.
I would think that's more like.
Where from, to tell the truth,
Yeah.
address for the record.
Where is it? Don't.
Good morning. My name is Carlos Sanchez from 2425 Grand Avenue, in Belmore.
All right, so this case is a renewal of a grant to park in the front yard setback at 2425 Grand Avenue in Belmore. The building department inspected the property on August 5th, 2025. And they found that all conditions previously imposed by the board have been complied with. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
I get this letter for the hearing after I pay the fee, the renewal fee. I have the ticket, everything. And the food truck, it's just in the back by Newbury Road. They just park. They don't operate. They don't sell anything there. They just.
So they're storing it, really. It's not parking. But I have a question for you. When was this granted? Do you know? Because I have never seen this case before that I can recall. And I've been here a long time.
I think the previous owner has this because I bought like 2 years ago this building. And after I get the letter for renewal for the
Did you
front
say-
parking for the grant.
Hold on. It's a grant to park in the front yard, and you're telling me it's being stored in the rear yard.
It's one spot on the front, by the front door, like the 2425 Grand Avenue, one spot for one car.
Okay, is it a car or a hot dog truck?
How that truck, it's in the back, in the back parking. It's by Newbridge, it's a corner.
But when you say the backyard, is the location of the hot dog truck
Yes,
near a street?
yes.
So his side yard. Okay, but you're also telling me it's stored there but not operating, right?
Yeah, the building, it's an office in the Grand Avenue. But in the backyard, they just park the food truck.
How are you going to answer that question?
Sir, how long has the hot dog truck not been operating?
Uh, I bought the previous owner. They rented the spot for the parking. They tell me, can you stay? I say okay, but they just parking. They don't sell anything there.
No. Just a minute, to clarify, I believe she asked how long the hot dog truck has not been operating. We understand you do not sell product from that location, but I would assume you take it out every day and you sell somewhere else. Is that correct?
Yeah, the food truck owners take in the weekend. I think it's not mine. It's just
Yeah, but it does sell product at some point somewhere.
yeah,
Just not
somewhere.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more like storage. Did he say to? Okay.
And just so I'm clear, the owner of the hot dog truck and you have some arrangement that exists right now contractually, written or otherwise, and you intend that will continue to park this here, right? You're planning on continuing to do this?
Yes. She told me. I don't know if she want to continue. Probably gonna pay the fee. I don't know for the
Okay,
parking.
let me ask you, how long have you owned the property?
Like 2 years.
Okay. If this particular truck in its size and if she quits parking there, you can't just put a bigger one there or anything like that. You're gonna have to come into the building department and check on whether or not you could replace it with something different, okay?
Yeah, I can tell them to look at the other spot. It's.
I'd like to see where are those things? I'd like to see this. Okay, Becky, I'm just curious if it renewed every 5 years.
He got the renewal.
Joe's not here today, unfortunately. We would send him out.
Said he got notice of a renewal, that's why.
Right, but I don't know why it's renewed 4 times and I don't remember it. Okay. How often does the hot dog or cheese truck leave the spot temporarily? Like, how often does she use it?
The most time in the weekends, I think she go out. Sometimes Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Is it every weekend, one weekend a month roughly, just generally?
Yeah, it's probably 2, 3 times a month in the weekends.
Is that only in the summer or year round?
Uh, whole year, that's in the weekends.
So most of the time it is.
In the summer.
It's so near the street that I just want to make sure there's no visibility issue for other traffic coming and going from other nearby properties and/or your own. All right. I'll
Any other questions from the board? Any other comments? If not, do I have a motion?
move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once we render it, okay?
About the truck.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
about the ability to
And you're
park
finished
there.
now.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Have a nice day.
Next, we have case 51525, West Hempstead, Nina Borzdina and Alexander Zuravakan. Variance, lot area occupied, to construct second-story addition, open below, attached to dwelling, also known as 85 Brooklyn Avenue.
I do.
Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Tina Pangallo, 549 Hempstead Turnpike, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Good morning, Chairman, members of the board.
Morning.
I'm representing Nina Borzina and Alexander Zurfakan of 85 Brooklyn Avenue in West Hempstead. The property is located on the west side of Brooklyn Avenue, 642.49 feet south of Grand Avenue Residence B. We're requesting a variance for a proposed second-story addition open below and attached to the dwelling. I would like to say that I live on Osborne Road, which is the street behind the dwelling, so I can say that as of this morning, this has not been built after last week's disaster. I can promise you that as of this morning. The maximum lot coverage allowed is 27.5%, and the lot coverage proposed will be 32.5%. The existing lot coverage with the deck and stairs is 30%. That was built under BP 14-1002. The deck and stairs will be removed, and the second-story addition will provide a master bedroom and a walk-in closet.
Oh,
If
Ms.
this-
Pangallo?
Yes.
So it's a second story, so usually that's not outside the footprint, but I see this as open below. So is this the reason you're having the lot area occupied change? It is protruding outside the existing footprint, it's just that it's open below? Is that why it's only second story?
Yes, that's correct. And they are willing to, if this is granted, agree that the area open below will not be enclosed. I would like to submit letters from the homeowner obtained from 6 neighbors saying that they have no objection to the board granting this variance. And I also got a letter from the neighbor on Osborne Road who was behind the house, who said he would much prefer seeing this addition than that deck with stairs. So
We'll
we're
accept
respectfully asking the board to grant this variance.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
Move that the hearing be closed, matter be placed on the decision calendar. Ms. Pangallo, you'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Thank you very much.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Next, we have case 51625, East Atlantic Beach, Steve Bocci. Variances, lot area occupied, rear yard to construct second-story deck attached to dwelling, also known as 2 Malone Avenue. Please stand, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record. Your opposite, yeah, we'll call you up.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Dean Kutsubis. My address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. Go ahead.
Good morning. My name is Stephen Boyce, 2 Malone Avenue, East Atlantic Beach. I am the applicant.
Good morning,
Morning.
members of the board. We're here seeking permission or variance to propose a second-story deck attached to the dwelling at 2 Malone Avenue in East Atlantic Beach. The variances we're seeking are for rear yard of 3.5 feet and lot coverage for a total of 44% lot coverage. I'd like to point out to the board that these variances were previously granted so the side yard of 3.5 feet is in line with the existing dwelling and is also in line with the deck that's existing on the first floor. So we're not going any further out than what was previously approved on the side, on the rear yard. And there's.
Hold on, Mr. Katsubis. You called it a rear yard first and a side yard. Then you called it a side yard at 3.5, unless you have one of each. And I know it's a corner property. So which one's the side yard? I mean, the 3.5 being granted as a side yard is only a minor deviation from 5. But a 3.5 rear yard is a
Okay.
significant deviation, so I'm not sure what we're.
Yeah, so, okay, I apologize. The 3.5 is the rear yard where the 25 feet is required. So, but my point is the house itself and the existing first floor deck are built at the 3.5 feet. That's why it's not a substantial deviation.
But when it was granted,
Yes.
was it proposed as a side yard or a rear yard? Because, if you propose that as a side yard, get the variance, and then you decide to swap them because it's a corner lot, then they encroach all the way in the other side too. It's a big difference.
So it was as per my client, and I do have the notice of decision. It was granted as a rear yard.
Okay. Do we have a copy of that notice in our file?
It should, but I'll submit it.
Taken.
Okay. So what we are proposing is a second-story deck, which is essentially going to be on top of the first-story deck. The second-story deck will act as a roof over to the first-story deck, and then it will be open air above. So the second-story portion is not going to be roofed over, but the deck itself will be of, watertight with drainage. It'll provide a shaded area to the existing first floor deck that they can use when it's bright and sunny outside. And then the upper level will be an open air structure that will be attached to the second floor. So combination, it's both a deck and a roof over, in one construction. The only increase to lot coverage is a very small. It's a 2% increase, and it's a total of 49.9 square feet. And that is the cantilever portion that goes over the steps of the first floor. So it's really the last 2 feet of the deck is what increases the lot coverage. And that's just to make it even with the first floor. Then on the first floor, those steps don't count in lot coverage. That's why that's why it's considered an increase, because the actual steps themselves do not count. And this 49.9 square feet makes for the 2% increase in lot coverage.
Mr. Katsubis, the decision you handed in has multiple requests on it, height, et cetera, but it also has a request for side yard and rear yard. I know you're telling us that the rear yard was the 3.5, but I'm looking at this. If this request in 04 needed side and rear yard, if what you're calling now the rear yard at that time had been the rear yard in that decision, you wouldn't have needed side yard as far as I can tell, because the two side yards are the side with the driveway, and the other side, which is the south side. So I'm counsel to the board's pulling the prior plans, but do you understand what I'm saying? If at that time this had been proposed the way you think it was proposed, it would not have needed side yard, but in fact, it seems to have needed side yard. Now, it could be that there's something small I'm missing, obviously, but that's why I'm not sure that that was the rear yard at that prior, which matters because the basis here is it was already granted like that, and it should carry some weight is the argument you're making, which is not an unreasonable argument to make if that were the case, and maybe it was.
So, yeah, definitely. So to answer that question, I'll let my client, because he was familiar with the construction at the time and the variance was granted at the time.
Have you already been sworn in, sir?
Yes.
Okay, just give your name and address for the record before you speak.
Stephen Boyce, 2 Malone Avenue, East Atlantic Beach. In 2004, we extended the existing house to the south by a considerable amount and added the deck. So it was, the side yard variance was for that house extension at that time.
But the side yard, even now, with your proposal, the south side yard that currently, that dwelling maintains now, it looks to be about almost 30 feet.
Yes.
So, I mean, I suppose there are some possible scenarios where that's a side yard, but even if right now we were looking at your current proposal, which expands on the old one somewhat, if you came before us and that was the side yard, you wouldn't need relief. In other words, the drawing here seems to need the only obvious relief is this side, which you're now calling rear yard. But if these were the side yards before, hold on. Hold on.
That's what was granted.
Okay, so can you see the plans on that? Okay, according to Ms. First, your request for side yard previously, it was like in 2004, was one of your requests, but somehow that was stricken during the hearing. Now, maybe that was for the reasons I just said. If that's the rear yard, you don't need side yard on that.
Correct, the rear yard is not a corner.
It is a corner.
No, it's not.
Take a look.
No, it's against the park. This is the park.
No, but there and there. Oh, there and there.
There.
Oh, that's the park.
That's the park.
So wait, so you can't decide what side yard rear yard.
No.
So that
Rear
is
yard
rear.
yeah, it's just rear
So
yard.
was he granted rear yard at
Yes.
3.5 on that?
Right.
Okay, good. Side yard was stricken, probably for the reason that I just said, that this map doesn't, if that's rear yard, you wouldn't need side yard.
I don't
Okay, so
believe this is considered a corner house.
You think it is or is not?
It is not.
No.
I agree with you, it doesn't look like that on the map, but Ms. First just explained that they consider this, even though it is the corner lot, so to speak, it's not being considered a corner. Okay.
Does that conclude the case?
All right. In addition to that, I have, my client was able to get, I believe, five letters of support from several of the surrounding neighbors. And I also did some research on it, made packets of 5 other houses that have, all of which have rear yard. They have setback variances and lot coverage variances, and I have photos and notices of decisions, just several other houses in the immediate area with similar variances for decks and second-story decks.
You took the photos yourself, Mr.
Yes.
Katsubis, and how recently were they taken?
I'm sorry?
How recently were they taken?
Approximately 2 weeks ago.
And do they fairly and accurately show what they purport to show?
Correct.
Then we'll accept them in evidence.
Mr. Katsubis, a couple of things. Is this a residence C or B zone?
It's a C zone.
Okay. And have you been in the house?
I've been to the outside. I never went
The
inside.
answer is
Okay.
no.
This is you own this home?
Yes.
Okay. Do you live in the home?
Yes.
Okay. Is it a single-family residence? How many kitchens?
Single-family residence, 1 kitchen.
Okay. Would you accept a condition, if we were to approve this, which we won't know until we deliberate, that if it is approved, that no portion of this deck area would ever be further enclosed, including with a roof or with sides, and that would be a condition that would run with the land?
Yes.
Okay. Done. We have someone here in opposition. Mr. Kelly, would you like to step up, please?
We've got a podium over there.
We have a podium.
You want to use that, Patrick?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Forgot the name of, what do they call those in court again, that area, the well? No, the well?
Oh, yeah. The British.
Morning, Mr. Chairman. I do. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Dennis Kelly. I'm an attorney at 120 West Park Avenue, Long Beach, New York, 11561. I was recently retained by the owner of 3 Oswego Avenue, Arthur Burns. as well as by the owner of 1 Oswego Avenue, Lawrence Brody. They've both written letters for me. Neither one of them are at home at this point, so therefore they retained me towards the end of last week. I'm here in opposition to Mr. Boyce's application for a rather large deck on the south side of his property, and I have some exhibits I would like to hand to the board for their consideration during my presentation.
What are they? What are these exhibits, sir?
Excuse me?
What are they?
I have a Google map, which would be worthwhile to take a look at, only because it's an interesting area based on the conversation you just had with Mr. Boyce and his expediter, that being where is it located exactly, what's a side yard or rear yard, as well as to the proximity of the 2 homes I represent to the property and this particular variance
That
application.
stuff's on the Google map.
Yes.
Okay, what else do you have?
I have photographs from 3 Oswego Avenue to the, what I think you're correct, Ms. D'Amato, in describing as the side yard, which for many of us would look like a backyard, of 2 Malone Avenue. And it's from the perspective of a bathroom, a bedroom, and another bedroom as to where this deck is going to be built.
Who took the photographs?
I did,
Okay, how long ago?
Friday.
Fairly and accurately represent what they purport to represent?
Yes, I
Not
can
been
say that's
altered in
true.
any way?
Do you want to show them to the opposition?
Sure.
To the applicant, you're the opposition. Your opponent.
All right, what say you? Is there a copy to let them keep?
Yes.
Mr. Katsubas, you can keep 1 copy of whatever you've been given. No. Oh, they're not labeled. Mr. Kelly, as you referenced the photographs, if you could, I don't know, I'll just number mine in the order in which you reference them, so you're going to have to give it.
Photographs do you have in your hand, Mr. D'Amato? You have 3, 4?
There's, pardon me, there appear to be 3, but they're not in any way identified.
Everybody keeps them in order, then what I'm about to tell you should work.
Okay, just make sure you describe them, and I'll just number mine too. Make sure I go along with it. Okay, there's the officials. I'll number the officials.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, I think you can go ahead, sir.
Bedroom, bathroom.
Yes. The first photograph is taken from a bedroom, which would be more in the middle of 3 Oswego, facing west.
The bedroom of what, I'm sorry, which property is it the bedroom view from?
It's from 3 Oswego. Believe it or not, 3 Oswego is actually on the beach, and 1 Oswego is actually north of the house on the beach.
Okay, hold on. Then I've misdiagrammed here. What is the name of the people who live? So my radius map, if you've not seen them, they sometimes have addresses, sometimes don't, but they often they have names. So I just want to make sure I'm marking the 2 houses that you represent properly.
Okay.
So Burns is
3 Oswego, which actually sits on the beach.
I see Burns.
Which is
okay.
an anomaly given the neighborhood. 1 Oswego, which you would normally expect to be sitting on the beach, is just north of 3
So I
Oswego.
marked them correctly. Okay. It's Brody and Burns. Okay.
Burns is on the beach, Brody's behind Burns.
And photograph 1 is a picture from the bedroom of Brody?
Nope, it's from the bedroom of Burns. And let's refer to it as the northern bedroom. Now, the deck that Mr. Boyce is proposing to build will be right outside that window, literally feet away. The second photograph, and you're going to see it's taken through a screen.
Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Google Earth and my radius map. And if it looks to me like the deck is not outside 3, but it's outside. Oh, it is 3. They're opposite. Or okay, I apologize. Go ahead.
So that first photograph is outside the bedroom of 3. the northern bedroom of 3. So if you're looking outside that window, that deck is going to be right there. The second photograph is the next room south of that bedroom. That would be the bathroom, taken through a screen. And again, the deck should be right about the, I think the ending of the deck should be right there. When I say the ending, I'm saying the corner. The deck, by the way, is 46 feet 7 inches by 13 feet. Spans the entire width of well, let's call it the side of the house. The third photograph is again taken through a screen, as you can see, and that's from the master bedroom, which is on the south side of 3 Street.
Same house, though. This is all from 3.
All from the same house. If I may, I'll hand you the Google photographs that I have. Just one each.
Do you have one for Mr. Katsubas?
I'll give him mine.
This is old, with virtually every other house.
In photograph 1, taken from the bedroom of the Burns house, there's only one house shown. That is the subject premises?
That's the Boyce home. The white. 2 Malone is in that photograph. I'm taking it from the perspective of 3 Street.
Right, but it's basically, other than in the background, it's the main house in the photograph. That's the subject property.
Yes.
That's right.
That's the subject area of the subject property.
That house. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the photograph I'm holding up? It's your first photograph. There's a giant house in it, yellow with white pillars and trim. Is that the subject house?
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
As you can see from the Google map, you'll see that obviously the blue dot, that's 3 Oswego. That's the Burns house. The one immediately to the north is the Brody house. Mr. Boyce's house, as you see, is to the west. It's that large house with a large, what we'll call side yard. That borders Malone Avenue.
Height of the deck, Mr. Katsubas. I see that there's, the height of the deck, I assume, is proposed to be such that one would walk out of that upper balcony and out onto it. So it's quite high. What is the elevation of it?
So it should be 11 feet higher than yeah. So,
Mr. Katsubas.
yes.
So the finished second floor, what zone are you in? What's your base flood? What's your BFE?
I'm not familiar with the, this is not a FEMA, decks don't.
You're not FEMA, it's not FEMA compliant.
Decks don't, from what I understand, decks aren't FEMA.
No, I understand, but I'm looking at, I'll explain why I ask. I'm looking at the level of finished second floor.
Yes.
Right? And it says 29, 11, and 9/16. I don't know if that's from the grade from the crown or if it's from the BFE, if this is because obviously it's on the ocean, so I live down the ocean from it. So I assume it is in a flood zone. Now, I understand, I guess you're not making it FEMA compliant. No, it is FEMA compliant, because didn't I see a prior permit for the excess of 50? Did you rebuild in excess of 50% after Sandy?
No, well before Sandy.
Oh, I thought I saw somewhere where it said that it was.
Well, the street grade right outside our house is plus or minus 13 feet.
Okay, hold on, here's where I saw it. The case is a 2003 case. Says reconstruct with alterations existing one-family dwelling in excess of 50% per BZA grant. So you're right, that was pre-Sandy. So that is not FEMA compliant right now.
You're in a BE zone, so the deck would have to comply with FEMA in relation to the foundation.
Can you say that again on the microphone so the court reporter can get it on the record?
Portions of the property are in a VE flood hazard area, which is a coastal flood hazard area, which would mean the deck would have to comply with foundation requirements for the flood zone.
All right, so, but right now you haven't come into FEMA compliance because you haven't done a major alteration since Sandy. All right, it's just that I'm looking at the size of the deck, I'm looking at the photographs from the windows, and I can see how, and it even seems to overhang a little bit more over something, modify existing columns. And I can see how it's very large and very high in terms of, but I can also see why you want to have a deck. So I just wanted to fully understand.
What's the height on this thing?
Well, the deck part of the deck is at 29, 11, and 9/16, which I don't know if that's from looks like it's from grade. Grade's at 11. Still just seems so high.
Grade's not at 11. I mean, I see that here on this architect's plan, but it's probably 11. The second floor is approximately 11 feet higher than the first floor, so it's a standard.
Wait a minute, Mr. Katsubis. You see on the architect's plan, that the architect, assuming certified architectural plans, says that grade is at 11, 7, and 5/16. But you're telling us grade is not at that height?
Showing the ground, if you look at the diagram, that looks like the basement grade, or that looks like the crawl space under, or the space under the deck is at the 11.
You have a basement? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. Do you have a basement, sir?
Unfinished, yes. And that was part of the 2004 board decision when we extended the house.
Mr. Katsubis, I see what you're referring to, but it looks to me what you think is being reflected as dirt, and you may be right, looks to me like it's some sort of fencing or some sort of man-made area. Like, see, it's got that lattice work. So when the architect's calling out, let me ask you, sir, are you looking at what Mr. Katsubis is looking at? Is that, you see where it says grade 11, 7, and 5/8, I think?
Yes.
5/16?
Yes.
And you see that lattice styling drawing? Is that, and then the finished first floor, what is being depicted? Is that supposed to be dirt, like underground, or? See, grade.
If you look to you're on sketch 3,
Let me see.
just so we're on the same sketch.
I'm on A200.
200.
Yes, the east elevation.
elevation,
Okay.
sketch 3.
To the left side of that sketch, where it looks kind of crosshatched,
Yes.
that's earth grade. Our rear yard is built up as it was built up in 1929 when the house was originally built.
So he's correct, that's dirt, that lattice work.
Yes.
That lattice
yes,
looking.
that's soil, yes. But that's not street grade. It's quite an elevation above street grade.
I see, that's why the architect drew it this way.
Yeah.
Because it does say cellar floor is, one thing. All right. Oh, so even though that's dirt on yours, on the neighbor's house, their house may be as low as the grade 11 and 7, 5/16.
Plus or minus, yeah. Like I said, the street grade outside our house is approximately 13 feet. So this area that you're looking at in the sketch 3 is a couple feet below street grade.
So what you have as a cellar/basement now, had the grade not been built up in the rear of your home, that would have been a revealed first level. I mean, it wouldn't be underground. It would be like a walkout or something, had the grade not been built up. I'm just trying to understand.
It's complicated to explain, but the original house was further back, and there was a small deck there, and then some small land, and then the grade went up and out.
Okay.
So we built over what was the lawn. We retained the elevated area.
All right.
Okay, so one or more of the board members may go out and inspect this piece of property, okay? Do you have any dogs on the premises?
No dogs.
Okay, so if we come knocking on your door, or can we access your yard without knocking on the door?
Please come.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions from the board?
If I may,
Yes.
I have a couple of letters here. I have one from Arthur Burns himself,
Okay.
from 3 Oswego, and I have another one from Mr. Brody from 1 Oswego.
We will accept those. Do you want to show
Mr. Arthur
them to
Burns.
Mr. Kutsubis and the applicant? Anything else?
Yes, and I just want to highlight where Mr. Mono was inquiring. That issue is significant because if you look at photograph number 1, that being the photograph taken from the bathroom, right? You're looking at, you can tell where the deck is going, right? It's going right at that level of the second floor. That deck is going to be right in that bathroom. It's going to loom over 3 Oswego, but it's going to loom over 1 Oswego as well. And our position, my client's position, is very simple. One, this is a substantial ask, this 46 feet by 13 feet deck. The second is it's detrimental, no doubt, to both properties. Mr. Boyce will be enhancing the value of his property to the detriment and diminishment of my client's home value. And as you can see from these letters, and I'd like to just read from a portion from both. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously. Mr. Brody writes in the third paragraph, the Boyce house already towers over my house. The proposed deck would be just a few feet away from my bedroom. Our houses are only about 7 feet apart. This has not been a problem until now, as their current outdoor usage is not visible to me. The additional deck would loom over my house and block out the only natural sunlight to my windows on the southwest side, the only outdoor space I have. The potential noise and loss of privacy would impact on our peaceful enjoyment. That's from 1 Oswego, Mr. Brody. And from Mr. Burns at 3 Oswego, simply put, a deck of this scale would place it directly outside my upper rear bedroom window, significantly blocking our exposure to sunlight and remaining open sky, and effectively bringing conversations and other social activities directly outside our window. Because their downstairs deck and hot tub are already just below that window, conversations and social events can already be heard, even though Steve and Marion are usually quiet and considerate neighbors. Bringing a new deck of this magnitude up to the second floor directly outside our window would be a major privacy invasion. What Mr. and Mrs. Boyce seek to achieve here can be done by another feasible method, and that is lessening the deck or having the deck primarily on the west side of the house, along Malone Avenue, in which there is no other house. right? So it's not like he has neighbors on the other side. So I'm saying cut the deck substantially back.
The west side is the front of their house, isn't it?
It is, but what I'm talking about is on the western side of the southern exposure.
Oh, you mean in the same yard, but make it, cut off the part that's near the
Take off a significant, some of the eastern part of that deck. And with that, I respectfully request that you deny the application as presented to the board today. And I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to add, Mr. Katsounis?
We would have to request a rebuttal to this. I'll let my client go first.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Terry.
I present the photos that I have that may address some of the neighbors' concerns, and hopefully we could come to a solution that everybody can agree on.
Do you have copies of photos for Mr. Kelly?
Yes.
You could give him a copy.
Give him one.
Give it to him now so he can look at him while you're talking.
Oh, actually, I'm going to use his photo.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Arthur Burns, we have a good relationship with, and I can fully appreciate his concerns. But the reality of living in East Atlantic Beach, and if I use the Google map that was kindly presented, if you look at virtually every other house in East Atlantic Beach, the back-to-back is another house. There's no view out of any window in the rear yards of virtually any house in East Atlantic Beach. So losing a partial view out of one rear bedroom, that really the view is my deck anyway, I don't see that to be a major hardship. I could have built my house all the way out to the front of the lot when I rebuilt in 2004. We chose not to do that because we love our gardens. And as you can see from the pictures presented by council, they're nice gardens. So I don't see where we're doing anything that's really a detriment to the neighborhood and anything that is really different than the fabric of the neighborhood that we live in. Most houses are 7 feet back to back. Unfortunately here, one window is going to be partially blocked. The other 2 windows are not blocked at all. You can see from the pictures, they have a clear view of my gardens. And if you go like this, you can see the ocean. So I don't agree with Mr. Burns' argument. I appreciate his argument and I understand it, but it is nothing different than the entire rest of the neighborhood.
Thank you.
I would respectfully rebut, if I may.
Can we just have, okay, go ahead, and then we'll have Mr.
Katsounis' turn.
Okay. It's, you know, it's what the deck invites, right? We shouldn't make the assumption that the Boyces will live there for eternity, you know, and we could easily have a different group of people taking advantage of this massive deck right outside the window of this other house.
Hold on, though. There's, at some point, we can't just, if we did that on every application, well, maybe they're going to have noisy people at their house. Maybe, you know, this is going to, maybe. So there comes a point when you got to cut off the speculation.
I agreed, Mr. Mata, but let's go to this point. I'm a prospective homeowner. I'm looking at 3 Oswego, lovely house I want to buy, right? And I'm looking at this deck, and I'm looking outside that window. That is detrimental to Mr. and Mrs. Burns.
Okay.
So the only reason I wanted to rebut Mr. Boyce's point is that it's not only the structure, it's what the structure invites, what the structure entails. You know, it's going to entail people literally standing outside his windows.
All right. Mr. Katsounis, and then we're going to end the hearing.
I just want to point out, yes, I do have respect for the neighbors and for the attorney and all their concerns, but I just want to point out this Google photo which was submitted from the opposition is rather dated. There's actually houses that got built since this photo. There's decks that got built since this photo. So I don't think that this is a good representation of what the current situation is.
Okay.
Okay.
Give it the weight.
That's why we're gonna,
I also like to point out, the photo that I submitted on the portal to this board is what I handed the attorney for the opposition right now. It's a drone photo taken by the architect, Mr. George Bella, for this job, facing the entire rear yard of the house, and does show the neighbor's house very clear, and shows their 3 windows very clear. So that is on the record. I only had one copy. That is the photo that I submitted.
maybe
What
we,
does the drone photo look like? Because I didn't see it yet, so I'd like,
Um,
how am I going to identify it?
Okay, it is the BZA photos which were uploaded to our application, so I believe everybody has access to those.
So it wasn't one of the ones submitted today?
No, it wasn't submitted. It was submitted with our application, and
I'd like to see the drone one.
He has the photo now.
yeah. So.
I'm sorry, that's a copy of the photo that you're referencing
Yeah,
now?
that I submitted as part of the application. So that photo does show the 3 windows from the Burns property, and as you could see, the furthest one, actually, they keep an air conditioner in there during the summer months. So I mean, I can't, I would imagine they would continue to keep the air conditioner in that window. For the summer anyway. I'd like to also point out that the other 2 windows completely clear the line of this deck, and even if you're standing in that back in the back bedroom window, the one with the air conditioner, and you want a view of the outside, you look towards the ocean. You wouldn't. I know he aimed this photo towards the house, but if they want to peek outside, the view is the ocean. So
Hold on, Mr. Katsubis, given that you're referring to this now, so if I'm looking at this photo
yes,
and you're making the argument that the other 2 front windows cleared, I see the argument making. Seeing the lower deck of the applicants,
yes.
using this is the proposed deck to go any further toward the ocean than the existing deck?
Approximately 2 feet.
But not exactly where the steps are. The 2 feet extra is the steps.
So if I look at those steps,
Yes.
straight up from there is the furthest out the proposed deck is proposed.
Correct. The furthest out. I'd also like to point out that the neighbors, the Burns family, does have a deck facing the ocean in the front of their house. I don't have photos of the.
You can see in that.
Or you could see, I'm not sure if you could see it in the drone photo, but you could see it you could definitely see it on the Google photo. Those 3 windows are not their only view of the ocean. So we're not really taking away anything that they didn't have before. Their main view, they do have a front deck as well facing the ocean.
I need a new one.
And that would be all I would have to present.
Okay, thank you.
Bear in mind, it's about the noise as much as the structure. And some of the expediter's testimony is pure speculation relative to
we're
ACs
going
and
to
things of that
close the
nature.
hearing now unless we have any other questions from the board. If not, do I have a
Will
motion?
the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar? Mr. Katsubis, you, your client, and you, Mr. Kelly, will all receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Thank you.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you for your time.
Have a nice
Thank you.
day, folks.
Next, we have case 51725, West Hempstead, Esther and Hugh Kadri. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, construct 2-story addition and 2nd-story overhang, both attached to dwelling, also known as 359 Jackson Avenue.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Good morning, my name's Aid Kadri, 359 Jackson Avenue, West Hempstead, New York, 11552.
Andrew Shear, 391 Garfield Avenue, West Hempstead, New York, 11552. Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Morning.
We are here to request a variance for an addition to their house to add to bedrooms and living space. They're in a Residence B, where the lot coverage is going to exceed the 27.5%. The proposed is 32.9%. And the second variance is for side yard and side yard aggregate. The side yard aggregate for the 55-foot wide lot, which is a little narrow, that's required is 15 feet, and we have 7'7" on one side and 5'7" on the other for 13 foot 2 inches combined for the side yard aggregate, and a 4'1" for a side door stoop, concrete stoop.
That's not,
That is the
side yard is not.
He didn't get kicked out. Yeah.
Not on
You
it.
didn't get, you're not here for side yard,
yard.
only aggregate?
Just
I know
aggregate.
that happens sometimes,
Okay.
Becky, is that right? I don't really understand why sometimes they don't give you both. Oh, because I see he has a 5'7" and a 7'7", yeah. Sometimes even if you have it short, I leave that to you.
But I think you said that there is a stoop on the side that encroaches.
4'1". Is lower than 36 inches. Is that?
It is lower, is it permitted encroachment or? Ms. First, take a look at it.
The steps goes up and down, so it's permitted.
If you comment,
The steps, you can walk correctly right over. So the steps go up to the stoop and then go down the stoop.
does that make them a permitted encroachment?
It's permitted, yes.
Thank you.
Why is not here for side yard?
Right, so that is all.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Shear, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Have a great day.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Next, we have case 51825 East Meadow, Patrick Maroney and Stephanie Torkelson, mother-daughter residence, second kitchen, also known as 1779 Grant Avenue.
Denise Amboise. Couture. Here's the search sheet.
It's like me, some of my inspection pictures, my car is in.
Oh.
Patrick Marone, 1779.
Hold on, can we get another chair for this? No. Do we have chairs? If not, maybe you could just sit right behind. I don't want you to have to stand there.
I'll sit right here. This one. Ma'am?
Oh, perfect.
Thank you.
Delta Dawn, don't sit down now. If you land on the floor.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dawn.
Patrick Marone, 1779 Grant Avenue, East Meadow.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise Amboise, and I am the mother of Patrick Marone. 1779 Grant Avenue, East Meadow.
Good morning. I am Stephanie Marone, 1779 Grand Avenue, East Meadow.
All right, sir, you didn't. Did you give your name and address yet?
He did.
Apologize. Okay. All right.
Yeah. He's a member of the house.
You want me to do this, right? Okay. All right, folks, you're here for a mother-daughter immediate family application. Just want to, there are two units in the house, two housekeeping units, we call them, one for one group of the family and one for the other. In one primary housekeeping unit, it's indicated here that it will be Patrick Marone, Stephanie Marone, and Isabella Ramone. Anyone else living in there, including children?
She is Isabella.
In that unit, ma'am. In that unit, there is no one else living. There are 3 people living in that individual unit. And then there is another unit, and one of you will be occupying
That would be Denise
that unit.
Ambrose. I can barely read. It's so small. Ambrosia, is that you?
D'Amboise.
No, there's no D.
There's no E. There should be an E.
I don't know. Yeah, it's super tiny.
The name was long when I
Okay,
figured it out.
at any rate, so those are the 4 people living in the home.
Correct.
And including children. Okay.
Yes.
You want to go over the doorbell stuff? I know, it's too small.
Go ahead, do it.
All right. All right, so each of you read the conditions of a mother-daughter immediate family? It's not transferable. It's granted, if granted, only to you. If you sell the home, you're supposed to take out the extra kitchen. If you end up selling it to someone who would want to operate the same way, you're going to have to come to the building department in advance and find out what you would have to do for that to happen. When you take out the second unit, you're going to need to do it with the benefit of a permit, okay? So you go to the building department, find out what you have to do. Also, each unit is supposed to have, there's supposed to be only one doorbell, only one mailbox, only one exterior entrance to the home, so that it gives all of the appearances of a single-family residence, okay? All right. Yeah, I got it. Hold on. And as you may or may not know, the Board of Architectural Review reviews every application of this type to determine whether or not it's amenable to being used this way, and whether or not it can revert back to a single family dwelling at the cessation of the use. Sometimes they make recommendations. For example, they got to remove the door at the top of the stairs or the bottom of the stairs and put in a hip wall, or remove certain things, at which point we give you an opportunity to explain to us why such removal would be unduly burdensome. It's too costly. There are children who need that door to be safe. There are pets that need that door, something like that. In your case, I've yet to read it, the board has determined that your dwelling is in fact suitable to be used in this fashion, and it is suitable to be restored at the cessation of its use to a single-family dwelling, with the provision that no illegal occupancy be in the basement. What do you have in your basement?
Storage in my office.
Okay, and is there a bathroom down there?
Yes.
Okay, does that bathroom have a proper permit? Don't know.
So I don't know.
Okay, and you should, Becky, can you check if that, okay. Okay. In addition, how many cars do the members that live in the house own?
3.
How many of those vehicles can park on the driveway off the street?
2.
And or in a garage if you have it?
If the garage, 3, yeah. In the driveway,
Okay.
2. In the garage, 1.
Okay, is there otherwise street parking allowed in front of your home?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Becky is, just make sure that. Oh, let me give you.
What are you looking for?
The basement and bathroom have a legal permit.
Okay.
Terrific. Okay. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else for me. Is there anything else you would like to tell us? You think we need to know about the case?
No, I do not.
Oh, by the way, so mother-daughter uses are granted. If granted, it's a 3-year renewal. Becky, they do a physical inspection. I don't know if they go in on the 3-year. So you will anticipate that there will be an inspection each 3 years for it to be renewed, but you don't have to come back here like the other type of renewals. Great.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Each of you who have signed in will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's ready.
Second.
Thank you and have
All
a
in
nice day.
favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Have a nice day, folks.
You as well.
Next, we have case 52125, Baldwin, Matthew R. Henning, and Isabel Mendez, variance, side yard, maintain AC unit attached to dwelling, also known as 476 Seaman Avenue.
Swear affirm to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
4.2 V5.
Good morning. Chris Gray, architect, 2401 Capri Place, North Belmont, New York, representing Matthew Henning and Isabel Mendez.
Morning.
Good morning. My client had installed a ductless AC unit attached to the side wall of their home. They're located in Residence B, where this minimum side yard is 5 feet, and this AC unit has a side yard of 4.2 feet. So it is So did,
It's a heavy,
Testimony about this.
yeah, it's a heavy lift. I believe that's your case, is it
yeah,
not?
I think that's my case,
That's
yes.
your case.
Yes.
Any other questions for the board? If not, do I have a
Move the
motion?
hearing be closed, the matter be placed on decision calendar. Mr. Gray will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you, have a nice day.
Second,
Thanks
all in
to being
favor?
back in this
Any
room.
opposed?
Yeah,
Nice.
only downside, at least for us, is it's
Have a good morning.
so dark on there.
Someday they'll actually put heat in this room instead of air conditioning.
Yep.
Yes.
Very good.
Mr. Gray's thinking
Okay,
I'm comfortable
thank
in
you.
this temperature.
You too.
Next, we have case 52225, North Belmore, Christopher M. Hanlon and Amanda E. Rayner. Maintain a 4-foot-high estate fence and living fence varying in height from 11 feet to 13 feet high forward of the dwelling, which may substantially obstruct line of sight and are located in the clear side triangle, also known as 1465 Horseshoe Drive.
Hold it. Hold it.
Raise your right hand.
You got up.
Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please take a seat. State your name and address for the record.
Good morning, my name is Chris Hanlon. I live at 1465 Horseshoe Drive in North Belmore, New York.
Good morning. My name is Amanda Hanlon. I also live at 1465 Horseshoe Drive, North Belmore, New York.
Good morning, folks.
Morning.
You're here because you wish to maintain and legalize both a 4-foot estate fence, I presume it's the metal bars about 4 inches apart, and you also have, it looks like running with that, a living fence that is from 11 to 13 feet tall. You live on a sort of a gradual long curve, which is the corner, but it's not the typical corner.
Right, I think
with
it's
a 90
called a
degree.
sweeping curve maybe, but I'm not
Okay,
sure.
we'll go with sweeping.
I'm not sure if that's the right.
How long has the living fence been there?
It's been about 10 years, 10 and a half years.
How long have you owned the home?
We've owned the home for the little bit more, maybe 10 years, 3/4, approaching 11.
Sorry, give me a second. Okay. Let me just look at the radius. Just want to look at the impact your fence may or may not have on any of the vehicular and or pedestrian traffic. That's generally why the corner lots can create an issue as it relates to fencing along the streets. Oh, I can't find the radius map. Do we have a radius map? Oh, here it is. We did get
4 letters.
4 letters sent by email and I think all in opposition to it. So let me just, well, this one's got a paragraph, a dissertation.
You also, you have some open permits installing an in-ground pool with an enclosure to code. Have you closed that out yet?
Right, so when we installed the pool last spring, when they did the review, they said that we needed to maintain the living fence and maintain the estate fence in order to get the certificate of completion for the pool.
Is the pool otherwise enclosed by some sort of a fence that meets code?
It is, correct.
Other than the estate fence, there's another.
Other than the estate fence, yes. I believe that is on the plot plan. It is permit number 24-3086.
All right, these are long. We have 4 letters. The way they're written is different than most of them in terms of the length, so they're not identifying who they wrote them, which they're allowed to do. So I think they may be from parties who spoke with one another, or maybe the same person. So I just want to get to the corner. Cars often whip around the bend with little warning. It's already a visibility challenge, whether you're driving, walking, or biking. The lack of a clear sight triangle makes it difficult to anticipate oncoming traffic from either direction. I personally witnessed several near crashes, both on the sidewalk and in the street. Increasing the height of this barrier in this area would only exacerbate the risks, especially for children at play who rely on visual cues to navigate safety. We've already resorted to utilizing children at play and kid alert street signs to help slow traffic and raise awareness. However, this does not address the visibility that remains a critical issue. I'm trying to try and paraphrase the rest of the paragraphs. Just reiterates basically that, and preserving safe open spaces where kids can play freely, neighbors can connect is a responsibility we all share. Next paragraph. Safety again. Next paragraph. Visibility impacts behavior. If I'm not mistaken, the homeowner's children used to shoot hoops at one neighbor's house, but we have since gravitated to another, likely because the second location offers better visibility of approaching vehicles. That's speculation in a way, but sense of community. Again, it seems it's all about safety, visibility. Let's just check real quick if the others are basically the same. Yeah, the same. This one's clearly written by the same or related individual. Some of the language is identical. Again, drivers, cars, visibility. Same. Number 3 is the same. And yeah, so that's the issue presented by the 4 or 1 person.
As you heard earlier, in some instances, board members will go out and inspect the premises. I don't think we need access to your yard, but you can probably anticipate that 1 or more members of the board will come out to take a look for ourselves to see whether or not these objections are valid or sustained.
I didn't know it's not, I thought it ran the whole gamut, but it really only runs here, see, because
Yeah, I got it. Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. You'll be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. As the chairman indicated, your case will not be decided today. Sometimes we decide cases in the evening because 1 or more of the board members are going to come out and take a look at it and to assess how much weight we would give these concerns made by some of the neighborhoods. So you're free to go now.
You can leave.
Oh, hold on.
You have a question?
Hold on. Let me just withdraw my motion, Mr. Chairman.
I mean, I'm not sure who wrote the letters, but we do have a personal issue with our neighbor across the street that we used to be friends with. We're no longer friends with. She has been harassing us for 3 years now. I've notified the police about her. I have text message exchanges with her asking her to leave me and my family alone. She's done things like tail the back of my vehicle very closely, raced, sped in her car towards me and my children playing basketball in the street. Like I said, it's hard to say who wrote that letter or those letters, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention as well.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I will again move that the hearing be closed and the matter be placed on the decision calendar. As I said, you folks will both receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Stephanie, how are you feeling? You're okay?
Next, we have cases 523-25 through 526-25, Atlantic Beach, Raphael Abramov, doing business as 1518 Park Street LLC. Variances: height, lot area occupied, front yard average setback, side yards aggregate, rear yard, construct a 3-story FEMA compliant dwelling with balconies attached, demolish existing structure. Variances: lot area occupied, rear yard, construct pergola attached to dwelling, special exception to construct an outdoor kitchen exceeding horizontal maximum and with lot area occupied variance, install pool equipment with less than required rear yard setback, also known as 1518 Park Street.
You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Good morning, Chairman and members of the board. My name is Shmuel Flaum, residing at 194 Wanzer Avenue, Inwood, New York, 11096.
My name is Ina Yusupov. I reside at 1527 Park Street, Atlantic Beach, New York.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, try and make this as succinct as possible. We are here seeking variances related to the construction of a new dwelling and related applications for a new in-ground pool, a semi-attached pergola, and an outdoor kitchen, all part of the proposed assemblage of what we're doing at this new single-family dwelling. This property is located in a flood zone. As such, the house has to be FEMA compliant, so we are proposing a FEMA compliant dwelling. That dwelling is elevated significantly off the ground, and the living spaces are on the second and third level. There is obviously no living space at the lowest level because it is in the flood zone area. The variances that we're seeking related to the dwelling itself are due to the fact that the property is a very irregularly shaped lot. It's very wide at the frontage and narrower at the back, and it pulls in along one side versus the other. As such, it doesn't allow for a very simple house placement, so something had to give, and based upon the client's requirements for use of space, we had to adjust the house so that it triggers variances in certain locations for certain items. So I'm going to just enumerate the different variances being sought. On this lot, we're seeking variances for building coverage. We're permitted a 27.5% for lot area for the dwelling itself, and then additional 2.5% with the deck. We're seeking for the building 2275.67 square feet for the building itself. And then there is accessory decking and a front porch of a total of 703.9 square feet, which amounts to 11.6%. So the total lot coverage, including all decking and porches and pergola, is a high number. It's 48.9%, but it's including the pergola in the back, which is really not closed. It's an open pergola, but it is considered a structure for purposes of coverage. We'll get to that, back to that in a moment. The other variances being sought are for total height. We're permitted 30 feet from the DFE. We're asking for 34 feet 3.5 inches. The side yard, we're requesting variances both sides where you're required to have a total of 17.63 based upon the calculator frontage. We're proposing an aggregate of 9'11". The minimum side yard on one side is 5 feet and the other one is 4'11". Just note that the 5 feet at the one side yard, it's 5 feet at the back, but because the property is uniquely shaped, it comes forward and is 11'9" at the front. So that 5 foot variance is only being sought because the property narrows from the front to the rear. So again, that was the part of the unique shape of the lot that we're trying to work with. The front yard variance we're seeking is 14'6". The average front yard for the property is actually 25. The actual dwelling itself is 17'9.5" from the property line. The variance being sought is for a front overhang by the entry. That overhang protrudes from the main house, and its setback is 14'6". The other variance being sought is at the rear yard. It's to the balcony that protrudes from the face of the house. Triggers a variance for 22'6" but the house itself is compliant at 25 feet. So the house complies, just the balcony that is cantilevered off is triggering the variance. So those are all the variances enumerated related to the house itself. The related applications that we filed in conjunction with this one is for the pool. The pool itself is compliant. It's just the pool equipment on one yard is not compliant. You're supposed to have 4 feet from the side and rear. We have the 4 feet from the side. The rear at the corner, we're at 2'10" instead of 4 feet for the equipment. Again, due to the unique nature of the property line isn't straight, it's angled. Then the... Yes. The pool itself is compliant, just the pool equipment requires relief. Then with regard to the pergola, we are seeking to do a semi-attached pergola. It's half attached to the house. The other half, it frames out the proposed outdoor kitchen. So that is triggering a surface coverage and I believe a rear yard encroachment variance. Give me 1 second, just double check. Yes, it takes up more than 40% of the rear yard. Actually, it doesn't take, it's only 27% of the rear yard, which is good. But the outdoor kitchen is an encroachment or a variance, I think, because it's typically not permitted as of right. But I guess with the attachment to the pergola, it's considered a structure. So together, they're triggering a variance. So on the height on the pergola, it's 11'6". We weren't. I'm just telling you what it is. It doesn't need a variance. The height is compliant.
Becky, is the height allowed at 11.6 on the pergola?
No.
It's supposed to be like a shed up, right?
Yeah, it's not.
9.
So you do
It's-
need relief for that.
Why?
Is it attached to the house?
Yes.
Oh, it's attached to the house.
Oh, okay.
Semi-attached.
Okay, but you need horizontal on the kitchen, that's what I was,
Right, the outdoor kitchen, it's 4 feet from the rear lot line.
no, but
No.
you were rejected for exceeding the horizontal.
Horizontal.
12 foot allowable.
Oh, it's 20 feet wide, which is the width of the pergola, and it's 4 feet from the rear.
20 feet wide by what other measurement on the,
Sorry?
you said it's 20 feet wide. What's the other,
3'3", 39 inches.
for what?
The outdoor kitchen is 3'3" by 20,
Okay.
and it's sitting underneath the pergola, which is the same width of 20, and that pergola is 21 feet from the back rear of the house to the end and coincides with the end of the outdoor kitchen.
Okay, and what is the other part of the pergola measurement? It's 20 by what?
It's 20 by 21.
20 by 21?
Mm-hmm.
Becky, it reads like this. Variance, lot area occupied, rear yard, construct pergola attached to dwelling, semicolon, special exception to construct an outdoor kitchen exceeding horizontal maximum and with lot area occupied. Oh, the pergola is not needing horizontals because it's attached. Okay, sorry, they're usually never attached. Okay.
That's fine. It's a unique situation, being that this property is in the flood zone. It would be really frustrating to have to bring everything up and down every time you want to cook or make something. So they wanted to have an outdoor kitchen that they could store some things while they're cooking outside next to the pool.
Another question. Your BFE is 13, I think, and your DFE 15.
Correct.
That said, you don't even finish the floor. It looks like the first level, the FEMA level, is being constructed with a height of 11 feet 6 inches. Why so tall?
So if you take a look at the floor plan, the entry level into the house is at the lowest level, which is permitted as per FEMA regulations.
You mean the entry?
The entry.
Finished floor of the entry level is at 15?
The entry level is at elevation 10, actually. The entry into the house, the actual door and entry.
Oh, is that 10.3?
Correct.
10.3, okay.
And then you circulate upstairs to the living level.
Wait, but staying with the first floor,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like the second floor finished isn't until 20.3, so 10 feet between first and, why so much? Like,
2 reasons. If you take a look at the first habitable level, so they have a balcony. They want to be able to park in front of the house dwelling there, so the driveway comes up and goes under the balcony. If the house was lower, they wouldn't be able to pull the cars in under the balcony that's being proposed. They would hit the balcony. They wouldn't have enough space.
why couldn't it be at 8 and not hit the balcony?
Sorry?
Why couldn't that be, for example, 8? I'm not understanding how that's going to hit the balcony.
I'm understanding when you have a car, so a car has a certain clearance, right?
Yeah.
So we want to clear that, but we also have the front entry door. The doors typically is a standard height, 7-8 feet, and they wanted to be able to park larger cars also underneath in the front in the driveway. It also just looks, more aesthetically pleasing because the front entry is at that level, so you're not walking in and creating a split level situation. If you take a look at sheet A200, you'll see what I'm referring to. It might be a little bit helpful with the visual. The entry is coming in at grade. There's no steps up to get into the entry to go up to the first habitable floor.
Yes, Becky?
Okay, so it appears that you're raising the grade 6 inches, correct?
Raising the grade, which location?
Under the house. So from the existing grade, there's a 6-inch difference to the, what looks like the slab.
The first floor, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, to the slab, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't have the dimensions of the lumber that you're using for the first floor, so I can't tell the difference because that's going to determine your height. So I'm trying to figure out what's the,
It's going to be a 12-inch.
okay, so, right, there's a 12-inch for the floor, so that's going to
Correct.
count into the height that goes
Sure.
to the top.
And on the top it will too.
I'm just trying to explain the section for them.
Yep.
Okay, so subtract a foot from, right?
Right.
About a foot from that 21, so it's 20. So the distance between the bottom of the first floor, and the
9
grade
feet.
is going to be 10 from 20, it's a 10-foot clearance.
Even factoring in because we need a 12-foot above it, on the top, right?
Right, so it's 10 feet.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. I'm not seeing why.
So what it looks like is that the height differences is just, that's coming into consideration is just the bulkheads.
Gotcha.
So it's just the bulkheads.
Yeah,
It's not the overall height of the house.
I know, I just was.
Okay. I'm just.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah, I understood the notes. Thank you, Becky.
Sorry, I didn't realize where you're going with the question. So the actual structure, thank you, Becky. The actual structure is complying with the height. It's just the bulkheads are triggering the height variance needed.
Right, I mean, I sort of was asking because if that wasn't so tall, some portion of the bulkhead wouldn't be encroaching. If it was say it's a foot lower, 2 feet lower, then you're asking for a 2-foot variance to encroach on the bulkhead instead of 4. That's the only reason that I was looking at everything that comprised this height request.
No problem.
So, certainly. Hello.
Hi.
I inspected the property yesterday, actually. And one thing I want to add is that the property is at a strange shape, and I understand why you need more coverage. Makes sense. Also, the property is on a dead-end street, and it's extra wide, so that the house being more forward sort of fits into the contour of the neighborhood. What I wanted to ask you was, the house across the street, there's a new house, and it says the same name as the people is that your relative? How tall is that house? Do you know?
I'm not the applicant, so I don't know.
Oh. In other words, that house looks,
Oh, where you live right now?
Yeah, but I don't know the height.
there's a newer house that's across the street, and it looks pretty tall. I was
So
wondering.
I don't know. I'm
No
not
problem.
familiar. I apologize.
No problem. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Flum, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
This is
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. You did construction? He's just saying it's relatively new. Were you told it that way? Oh, okay. I didn't get it.
No one's here.
Okay.
Next, we have case 40425 West Hempstead, Sapal Singh, renewal of grant to maintain two-family dwelling, also known as 99 Maplewood Street. Mr. Chairman, would you like to second call it?
Patrick, that one that we're going to second call there, it was adjourned from another date. Is that because we need, what was the adjournment reason? That's what I was thinking. Second calling it. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We're letting the court reporter rest her arms, please.
So if it's a female complaint, does that mean that it's not? So so in other words, my point is, in other words, he doesn't get saved because of the height. No. In other words, everything else about the thing doesn't bother me. It's the height. He doesn't have to do. No, in other words, like adjust the height because the other house it is a dead end and it's their own big house. Yeah.
Next, we have case 1314 of 25, West Hempstead, Aaron Zelig. Variances, height, lot area occupied, exceeds number of stories, side yards aggregate, construct 3-story dwelling, demolish existing dwelling and detached garage, also known as 308 Elm Street.
Hurry up. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Dominic Minerva and D'Agostino, 107 South Central Avenue, Valley Street, New York, attorney for the applicant.
And Albert D'Agostino, same address, Minerva and D'Agostino. Sorry, Albert D'Agostino, same address, co-counsel.
And Barry Nelson, 220 Pettit Avenue, Belmore, New York, 11710. Good morning.
Good morning. Before I begin, the neighbor located to the east of the subject premises is here with their counsel, and in the interest in saving them time, they would like to put their position on the record first before I begin my presentation, so that they can get on with their day. So if that's acceptable, Mr. Chairman, I would turn it over to the neighbor's counsel. Yeah, I think I'll put you in there.
Just me, yeah. Sure. Sharon Aspis, The Lit Law Group, LLC, 66 North Village Avenue, Rockville Center, New York, 11570. I would like to submit a letter into the record on behalf of our client, so I'm also going to read it into the record as well.
Okay.
Dear Mr. Regano, our office is counsel for Dr. Solomon Ganuth, who resides at 324 Elm Street in West Hempstead, which is directly adjacent to 308 Elm Street in West Hempstead, the subject property. Dominic Minerva, counsel for the applicant of the application, and I participated in fruitful settlement discussions regarding our client's concerns with this proposed project. We are all in agreement that the requested variances, namely height, lot area occupied, exceeds number of stories, side yards aggregate, construct 3-story dwelling, demolish existing dwelling and detached garage, should be granted by the board with the following conditions associated therewith. Number 1, the applicant's garage on the subject property shall not have any windows on the second floor facing 324 Elm Street, West Hempstead. Number 2, the applicant's drainage plan for this.
I'm sorry. It sounded like you said the applicant's garage on the second floor won't have windows.
So the garage, there should be no windows on the second floor of the garage facing our client's property.
Okay.
There's living space above the garage.
I figured that out now.
Okay. Number 2, the applicant's drainage plan for the subject property shall comply with all rules and regulations promulgated by all relevant governing authorities, including the building department, and the applicant shall provide a copy of the drainage plan to Dr. Ganuth. Number 3, there shall be no high-intensity lighting of any kind from the subject property facing 324 Elm Street in West Hempstead. Number 4, the 5 air conditioning compressor units shall be low noise specification and shall be enclosed with a sound abatement barrier. The applicant shall provide Dr. Ganuth with a copy of the specifications of the barrier for his approval prior to installation of same. Number 5, during construction of the project on the subject property, any construction fence utilized shall not be placed against any bushes located on 324 Elm Street in West Hempstead. My client and I are confident that as long as the aforementioned conditions are placed on these variances, approving this application will not have a negative impact on the applicant's neighbors, and as such, my client would give his full support to granting these variances as long as these conditions are associated therewith. Thank you for your prompt attention to this matter. I would also like to submit a copy of the letter into the record.
Thank you. We are consenting to the conditions in the letter.
Yes.
I've reviewed the letter and we're consenting. Yes, I would take a copy. Thank you. Okay, the application before you today is for variances to permit the construction of a new single-family dwelling at the premises known as 308 Elm Street in West Hempstead. Subject premises is located on the south side of Elm Street, 772.64 feet west of Woodfield Road. It's also known as Section 35, Block 403, Lot 216 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. The owners, Mr. and Mrs. Aaron Zelig, purchased the property in 2023 in an LLC for purposes of designing and constructing a home for them and their family to reside in. The variances requested are for lot area occupied, height, and side yard setbacks. The proposed lot area occupied is 19.3% with 15% required. The proposed height is 31 feet 2 inches with 30 feet permitted, and with 3 stories proposed with 2.5 stories permitted. The 31 feet 2 inches is from the crown of the road. But I note that the attic story is proposed as unfinished storage and not living space. So there'd be 2 floors of finished living space, as well as a finished basement. And the proposed side yard setbacks, which vary with a minimum of 7 feet 5.5 inches on the westerly side to the proposed dwelling, and 3 feet 4 inches to the basement egress window, well, and staircase. If that was 5 feet, it would be a permitted encroachment, so it's a 1 foot 6 inch variation. And 4 feet 10.5 inches on the easterly side to the proposed garage. The proposed garage only runs 23 feet of the 209 foot deep lot with living space above, and 15 feet is required. But again, that's only for a short portion of the depth of the lot. Otherwise, the house itself on that side is set back significantly further. And 8 feet 2.5 inches aggregate proposed with 35 required, but that includes those encroachments to the window, well, and staircase. Without that, the aggregate is slightly over 12 feet. As you will hear shortly, the proposal is in keeping with the character of the area, and numerous other variances granted on Elm Street in this zoning district. The relief requested is minor in nature and will not be detrimental to surrounding property owners. Before Mr. Nelson testifies, I do have a petition signed by 10 of the neighbors along with a marked up radius map, and you'll note that most of those neighbors that signed are the ones closest to the subject premises.
Mr. Minerva, obviously, as you know, one of the things we address in our consideration is whether or not something's achievable easily without a variance. And I look at the plans and I see that you want 1 foot 2 inches of height. And I see the basement has 8 feet 3 inches. So I think myself, get rid of the 3 inches. Now you only need a foot more. But then I see the first floor has 10-foot ceilings, the next floor has 9-foot ceilings, and then you have your attic height. Even if it went 899, then there goes the height variance. So I'm saying this because I'm giving you a chance to put something on the record so that can be addressed by us at our deliberations.
Right, so they're making, substantial investment for this house. So their desire is to have the higher ceilings. House of this caliber, it would be more desirable, it'd be nicer to have low ceilings in such a significant investment in a ground-up construction, given the minor variation of just 1 foot. Additionally, we looked at whether the basement floor can be lowered to avoid the height variance, but there was a high groundwater table, so we weren't able to avoid it that way. So our request is for the minor variation.
So the argument you're making, which reasonable one, is that it's such a de minimis variance that it's thought
it's
that
such a de minimis variance
that it's outweighed by the value it brings to the applicant.
That's our position, yes. Thank you. At this time, I'll let Mr. Nelson provide his testimony, and I would ask Chairman if you'd be willing to continue Mr. Nelson's qualification as an expert witness regarding to real estate valuation and its use.
I got
You
to.
stole my thunder, Mr. Minerva.
Minerva.
Okay, we will continue your qualifications as a real estate expert, Mr. Nelson, because you've been qualified as an expert on so many prior occasions.
Thank you.
Unless you tell us that your qualifications have changed since the last time you appeared before us.
No, it hasn't.
I didn't think so. Go ahead, sir.
I'm going to hand some exhibits. I'd like to hand several packets of the subject property photographs and the surrounding area. I believe there's 34 pictures in total, and in my opinion, they fairly and accurately represent the subject property and the surrounding uses. I'd like to hand in a second exhibit, which includes 4 pages, 5 pages, and that would include the radius map, the Department of Assessment tax map for the block on opposite the subject property on Elm Street, the subject block, and an extension of the subject block just to the west, which came out on a separate tax map. The last exhibit on that, the last page on that exhibit is the Town of Hempstead zoning map for the area. The last exhibit I'll hand in would be variances in the area on Elm Street, similar to what the applicant is seeking, which I'll describe shortly. The subject property exists on the south side of Elm Street between Hempstead Avenue on the west, Woodfield Road on the east. It's slightly a unique area zoning in that the substantial zoning in the area would be the residential B zone. If you look at my zoning map, or the town zoning map, which I included on the last page of the second exhibit, you'll see that a portion of the northerly side of Elm Street on the north side and the south side had been rezoned in 1959 to the residential A2 zone, and it's just this block and just this immediate between Hempstead Avenue on the west and Woodfield Road on the east that exists on the A2 zone. In fact, that area was rezoned August 11th, 1959 from the residential B to the residential A2 zone. One of the reasons I could assume would be there are many oversized parcels in the area. But that doesn't limit to that area. You have the streets to the south and to the north with oversized parcels like the subject property to the street to the south, the next 2 streets, where you do have, if you drove that immediate area, you'll see substantial new construction in the area and substantially larger homes. The last exhibit I handed in would be a list of variances, and I included many, but there are many others both on Elm Street that required similar area variances, including height, side yard setbacks, aggregate in the A2 zone. Many of these variances would not be before this board if it was the B zone. Nevertheless, they exist. And most of that area were built in the 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s prior to the rezoning of the A2 zone. So just about any parcel that would be seeking additions, alterations, would be before this board for numerous variances, and that would be inclusive of side yard setback aggregates, because the A2 zone moved
I'm sorry, what's the required side yard and side yard aggregate in the A2 zone?
In the A2 zone, the side yards are,
I believe it's 50. 15 feet required,
15 minimum,
35 aggregate,
35 aggregate.
which is substantial departure from the B zone.
Wow, yeah, it's quite a bit.
Right, but if you look at the last exhibit, you'll see many of those homes came before this board for those reliefs on side yard and side yard aggregates. And again, because most of them were built to the B zone requirements. In fact, the B zone originally only had 5 and 10 or 15 aggregate, and it wasn't until the late 90s when they upped the zoning or upped the requirements for side yard setbacks for the residential B zone. Going back to the last exhibit, you'll see the house right across the street came before this board, and that would be, let me just,
Which page in your thing?
it would be the last exhibit, the 3 pages, no, not the photographs. I have photographs of that house, but it would be the exhibit for other variances on the subject street.
What's its address so I can find it in the photos?
I'm sorry. Oh, I was just getting to that. That would be, I believe it was 305 Elm Street. It's right across the street. And that came for similar variances. It's a new house, setbacks, et cetera. And that house also was approved for a height variance at 30 feet, 30 feet, 5 inches.
When was that?
That was in 2007. That house was constructed at 33 feet. I don't think it's been back before this board yet. It's already existing in the area.
In 7, had we switched by then? I'm trying to remember from, it used to be 35 ridge, 30 average. When did we switch that?
I think that was in the late 90s when you went from the height at 30 feet from
I know in 02, 03, it was still
to the peak.
35 ridge, 30 average. 207, that's the year you're talking about, right?
207?
We went to the height.
So when you did your research, and does it specifically say we gave it that relief then? Like, since it's the same year, I'm not sure which.
Yes, it was filed probably before, and I don't think you got grandfathered in when they changed it. So it was before this board for height.
Okay, you're sure? Okay.
Yes, because
Yeah, it has the case, the exhibit, Mr. Nelson handed in, has the case number and the date, and it says variances, height, side yard aggregate,
But we don't know if
30.5 feet.
what height rule was applied yet. If the old rule was applied, would it have needed it?
Well, if it's in 2010, it would have been the new
I'm
rule.
talking about the 07 one.
So
Did you say yours was in 07, Mr. Nelson, the one you were talking about?
the original, there's 2 cases. The original variance was 2007, and the second part was 2010.
So we don't know what rule, okay. I'm not sure it matters. But
Right, but it exists across the street, and it is a 33-foot height. Nevertheless, getting back to the application, the applicant owns the property at a substantial investment. He will be putting up the house at a greater expense than the typical construction outside this immediate area of.
Mr. Nelson, I'm sorry, I found your photograph of that home across the street. It's a non-event, like it doesn't look bad at all.
Right.
An imposition. What is the height of that house?
33 feet.
Okay.
And again, as far as front yard setback, the applicant is proposing almost a 50-foot setback from the street. And that meets code as well for the front yard setback.
And just again, that house is at 33 and change.
Right.
And yours is proposed at 31.2.
31 feet.
And 2 inches.
2 inches. And
Okay, so less than
directly
that,
across
and that, the photos are worth 1,000 words, you're right, because that makes it seem as if this is really very de minimis of a request.
And again, with the front yard setback, it reduces the effect from the street driving by. But if you drove the few streets in the immediate vicinity of the subject property, you'll find that there are many houses in the area that look comparable to the subject property, and that would be inclusive of Elm Street, the street to the south, Maple Street, and Oakford street, and those two streets are all entirely within the residential B zone. Nevertheless, I reviewed the area, the pattern of development, there's new construction in many of the houses, existing houses, expansions, and in my opinion, the requested variance is not going to alter or change the central character of this neighborhood. It's going to tend to appreciate property values and continue a good demand for this immediate vicinity of West Hempstead.
I would just want to note that the majority, so we have a long list of the comparable variances we submitted. I went over with Mr. Nelson. Those variances are all on the subject block, so some on Elm Street. So most of them are on the radius map. A couple are just off the radius map, but they're all on the subject block. And I know there was one that was at 352 Elm Street, which got side yard variances for 4.2 feet, 10.7, 14.9 aggregate. So based on this list and Mr. Nelson's testimony, we feel that proposal is in keeping with the character of the area and the variance history, and we request your favorable consideration, remain available for any questions.
I know you want to get this done. I'm just curious, Mr. Nelson.
Yes.
How many height variances? I know you just pointed out the one at 305.
Which is right across the street. Let me just.
I thought one of them you mentioned was a house that was granted a height variance some time ago for relief to put on an addition, and we granted that one, that height variance, because that proposal was like a non-conforming home that they put on, that they wanted to put an addition on and just keep the addition at the same level as the legal non-conforming structure already was.
That would make it, I believe, that would be it too. The one across the street and this, and that one you just mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else you'd like to add, or does that conclude your presentation?
Concludes our presentation, unless there are any further questions from the board.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Minerva, Mr. Nelson, Mr. D'Agostino, and the others who've signed in on the case will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you, have a good day.
Thank you.
Did, by the way, did counsel who spoke earlier for the previously known as opposition, did she sign in so she gets a copy of the decision? She did. Where's the, okay, she did.
to close the morning calendar.
Second.
Wait,
We had second call for the morning.
okay.
Where are we going? Adjourn it for the afternoon?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead. I move that we adjourn case 404 of 2025 in West Hempstead, Satpal Singh, from the morning calendar to the afternoon calendar so that the members of the BZA can do some inquiry as to the failure to appear on the part of the applicant.
All in favor?
Aye.
What time is it? Want to do decisions or break for lunch? At the afternoon, we can do decisions and we can get out of here within a reasonable period of time. There's no objection?
There's objections to this.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if anybody's showing up. But it's a cell tower.
When it comes to